Hey everybody, welcome back to another dreary day in New York. They're expecting rain, so don't be surprised if all the video we take today is just a little gray. Today's assignment is the Saratoga National Battlefield and the monument, and there's a couple other things I might try and get in. May not get them all today, may have to wait until tomorrow. So we're going to try and get what we can, and we'll splice it all together for you. But with the upcoming 250th anniversary of this country, that you know, not sure how much longer it's going to stand the way our forefathers wanted it to. But right now we're holding a little bit. So this is actually going to be, I'm going to try and tour everything and give you a shot, give you a look at this. I do have a family member who was at this battlefield. Um, it is a cousin. Is it a cousin? Several generations back, but he is a cousin, and a lot of you may have heard of him. His name is Benedict Arnold. He is a cousin. I am related through his mother to the Waterman line, which his mother was Hannah Waterman, and through that Waterman line, that same Waterman line, uh, my ancestor was a cousin of his mother. So we're going to try and get this. We might have to dodge the rain and do what we can, but it's a beautiful place. It's midsummer, and for those history buffs out there, this is what it looks like today. So we're here in Schuylerville. As you can see, the clouds have opened a little. This is the site of the Saratoga National Battlefield Monument, and we will go that way, and I'll take you over to see the monument. There's another sign up here that I'll try and get before we get there. Gonna have to forgive the cars. This is a very busy road between Saratoga and Schuylerville. So let's go. I will take you and show you the battlefield. So we're heading toward the Saratoga Monument. And for anyone who's looking to check it out, who wants to come up here, especially since next year is the anniversary, it's located on Route 338 in Saratoga County in the town of Schuylerville, and it's off of Route 29. It's very easy to find, and as you're driving, you can usually see the monument in the distance. So we're heading that way. And again, the skies are really gray. You may be able to see the monument in the distance. And we're going to take you over that way and show you what it looks like. It's not just the battlefield when you come here. If you're a real history buff, you have to check out these other sites as well. A lot of this that surrounds it now is farmland. There's a really good apple place up the road. Checking out, because there's another sign over here that right there you can see it. Colonel Morgan held this position to prevent the British retreat to the west. So right there is that monument. heading in, and again, you should be able to see the monument even better now. But I will take you in and show you. And there are people here. And there's a nice cemetery here too, established 1865. So it was established a little later than the monument. And there, I wanted to give you a good shot of the monument before we go forward. And then we'll explain some of the features of that monument. There's restrooms. So we're here at the Saratoga Battlefield Monument. It is in a different location than the actual battlefield, but it was part of the battlefield. And I'm going to take you on and give you a little look at what's here. So here's the first signage to give you some indication of what this is. 100 years after the pivotal American victory in the battles of Saratoga, fought 8 miles south, the nation looked to that noble Revolutionary War spirit to heal, educate, and guide the country upon its 100th anniversary celebrations. Inspired local citizens planned the 155-foot granite monument in honor of this hometown victory which secured our nation's freedom. And it just says, "Let our hurried crowd pause for a time before the Saratoga Monument. They will have rest of mind, of body, of nerves, and above all, that they find initiative for noble action beyond." Ellen Hardin Walworth, Historic Preservation Advocate, 1891. Welcome to Victory Woods, Saratoga National Historical Park's newest addition. To explore the site, begin at the trailhead located near Saratoga Monument's southwest corner. The Victory Woods Trail passes through Prospect Hill Cemetery before reaching Victory Woods. Trail access for mobility impaired persons with handicap parking permit is at the Monument Drive located just off Burgoyne Street. These grounds witnessed a monumental event. In October 1777, over 2,500 defeated and weary British soldiers, their wives and children, retreated here following the battles of Saratoga, fought 8 miles south. Surrounded by the American army, they were forced to surrender, a pivotal Revolutionary War victory which led to American independence and freedom. And we are going a little bit this way. It's a bit dreary, don't mind the clouds. From this direction we are looking east toward the river, toward the Hudson River. And Schuylerville is just over the top of this hill. Now, one of the things that you will notice is that there are statues in each of the little openings. And I will explain a little bit more about those statues in a minute. They each represent one person who was vital in this battle. It's a bit dreary, so you'll have to understand we're going to try and get this in before the rain comes. And we're going toward the doors, and it is closed. Or at least that door is closed. We'll see if we can look inside. And this is the main entrance to the monument. 1777, Saratoga, 1877. Let's see if we can go in. I don't think we can. I think it's closed. And there's a thing, a plaque. And then the plaque from the people who supported it, helped see it built. Let's see if we can see inside. A little hard to see. Let's walk this way. Nope, it looks like it's all closed. All closed up. And again, looking towards Schuylerville. And now we're looking in the direction of where the battle would have taken place, or the major battle. Now, I want to explain about the statues in these little holes. And I will have to put who they are in the video, because I'm not sure who they are. These are these holes were made for the 4 major participants of the battle. And I'm not sure who they are. I'll have to look them up. But there are 4 holes. There's only 3 statues, and I will explain why in a minute. That's the one facing towards Schuylerville. This is the statue facing north. I believe this is General Gates, but I'm going to have to check and make sure. I will put it in the video. And this is the third statue. And again, I will have to make sure that I put his name in the video. Not quite sure who he is. But there's one more hole, but there's no statue in it. And I will explain as we come around to the hole that faces south. Again, a good shot of the valley. And it is empty. And I'm not sure that most people understand why it is empty. It is empty because it is for the fourth major person involved in the battles here. And at the time that this monument was erected, they did not think that he was worth putting a statue up to him. And even to this day, it is disputed as to what kind of a man he was. This hole would contain, and in my case should contain, the statue of Benedict Arnold, who is largely responsible for winning the battles here at the Saratoga battlefield. And yeah, he did go against orders, but if he hadn't gone against orders, they may not have won, the colonists may not have won this battle. So now look at the cemetery that it sits next to. Beautiful, peaceful little place. And here is a plaque that explains what this was. The National Park Service protects this historic site. You are standing upon land that witnessed a momentous event, an outcome considered unimaginable at the time. What happened here forever altered human history. In early October 1777, during the American Revolution, 6,000 British soldiers retreated here after devastating defeats in the battles of Saratoga, fought 8 miles to the south. Surrounded, battered, and besieged by the American army, the forces of the Crown all surrendered on October 17, 1777. An army of amateurs had defeated a world power. The victory at Saratoga spurred international aid to help the United States win its independence, which spread the ideal of freedom throughout the world. Now, to further explain a little bit about my feelings, is what I've seen is what I've been seeing in the last few years since I've been here is a direct interest in rehabilitating Benedict Arnold's reputation. There are a lot of books written on him, pros, cons, fair, some unfair. But the man was a military genius. And in recent years, there has been an attempt to try and at least accept and appreciate what he did for the fight for freedom. And if you talk to some of the national park people here, they will all tell you that they respect the man immensely. So as I stand here in the shadow of the monument with the empty arch of my cousin, I want to tell you we're going to go and we're going to see if we can show you some more sights as long as the weather holds. So hang on, let's go. Because I'm not sure how I'm going to piece this together, we're just doing this in pieces and places because the weather is what it is. We are leaving the Saratoga Monument, and I'm going to head on down through the town of Schuylerville and try and find a couple of little places that are often not seen. So we are going to go back this way instead of so we're just waiting for the traffic to clear, and we are going to go this way so that I can take you through the town of Schuylerville. And we're heading back out toward 29. I will see if I can lighten up some of this video because it's, again, as I've said probably a dozen times, the weather is so wonky. It's been raining more than it should, I think, in some cases. And we are going by the sign for Colonel Morgan, who held this position to prevent the British retreat to the west. There are so many places around here where there were skirmishes, but the main battle there were so many places around here where there were skirmishes, but the main battle was held just south of here, and you will see the battlegrounds. And we're going to turn right and go through the town of Schuylerville. And as I said, I think in the introduction, this is July 1st, 2025, and I'm not sure I'm going to get everything today because the skies look pretty grim. So I will keep you posted. I will post if we have to change and make this a multi-day adventure. there's a really good apple farm on the left over here. It's Saratoga apple. And I know they used to, a few years ago, they used to have reggae singers come in once a month and do like a little free concert there. They're definitely hippie people, but they're great. They're young hippies. And this is Schuylerville. It's a nice little town. It's not quite as ritzy or as posh as Saratoga, but it's really a nice little town, and it's right on the Hudson River. We're going to go south on 29. And this is where you will find the historic park, and the cemetery are this way. And Philip Schuyler's house is also here. I saw one of the nomads that I follow actually stopped. I believe the house was closed at the time. We'll see if we can drive by it. I believe that right there, that corner on the right, that is where that road comes out that we were just on. Again, this is a really nice little quaint little town. Park dedicated to veterans. This is now on our tour. This is the General Philip Schuyler house. And the thing about General Philip Schuyler is that, like all men of his time and all men of all time, they're very complicated. In our tour, traveling around the grounds of the Saratoga battlefield, just south of the city of Schuylerville, town of Schuylerville, is the home of General Philip Schuyler and his grounds. The thing about Philip Schuyler is, much like most of the men of his time, he was a very complicated man. He wasn't all good, and he wasn't all bad. He did own slaves, which is now in the last few years been a bit of controversy to one of the men in the Revolutionary War. And across the road is another little set of plaques, and you will find some of these plaques spread out around a lot of places. So let's go see what this one says. And checking the traffic. Lafayette's tour. On June 30th, 1825, while en route to New York City, General Lafayette visited General Philip Schuyler's family here at their home. In other words, like the meme says, Lafayette slept here, probably. On November 28, 1745, on these grounds, the French and Indians killed Captain Philip Schuyler and 30 others, burning mills, stores, and 30 houses. On June 30th, 1747, the garrison of Fort Saratoga was surprised when 45 men were tomahawked and scalped. The site of the house of Captain Schuyler in 1745 and of General Philip Schuyler, USA, in 1777. So here sits the Schuyler house of General Philip Schuyler. We're not going to go too close because it looks like people are setting up for something. Looks like they're setting up for something. They may be reenactors, I don't know. And there's a map of the property. And this house lies just south of Schuylerville, probably within the city limits of Schuylerville. And it backs out to the Hudson River. So we are continuing our little tour, heading south towards Stillwater, having just left Schuylerville, and just showed you the Philip Schuyler house and a monument to Lafayette. We are heading, I'm going to try and find the surrender site. There is a site down here that is specifically marked as the site of the surrender, and it's so lightly marked as to be often missed. And there's a trail that goes up to something. We are looking for a sign that says that's the official notification that it was the surrender site. And it should be up in here somewhere. There is another sign. Dutch Reformed Church, northernmost church in New York State in 1777. You'll find lots of little signs around here. And I think this is the official surrender site right here. So what we found is the official surrender site. So we're going to pull over and check it out. So we are here at the official surrender site at the Saratoga National Battlefield. And we're going to take a look. Now that the mower people have gone, we're going to redo this. Here, General Burgoyne surrendered his sword to General Gates October 17, 1777. So let's walk this way and see what the signs say. And we are overlooking the Hudson River, looking east. There is parking here. I didn't know if there was parking here or not. It's a beautiful park. It's absolutely beautiful. Surrendered British cannons. On October 17, 1777, General John Burgoyne surrendered his army to General Horatio Gates, an event which marked the first surrender of a British army in world history. Included in the surrender were 30 bronze military pieces, 12 of which were light 6-pounders. The captured weapons were used by the Continental Army to fight the British throughout the rest of the war. The 2 nearby light 6-pounder cannons are replicas of the type Burgoyne surrendered. The carriages were commissioned as part of the October 17, 2019 Saratoga Surrender Site dedication and were made possible through the generous donations of the Ford Miller Group, the Thomas Bailey Hagan, and Tom and Karen Bollert. And those are the cannons. They've really worked on this site. since the last time I was here. The Saratoga site is dedicated to the soldiers of the United States Army who on this spot accepted the surrender of the British Army and forever changed the course of American and world history. The American General Staff. And the militia. Wow. Let's walk over this way. And this is the surrender site. And this is the signage. This is all new. This was pretty ignored for a long time. Saratoga Surrender Site. The diversity of communities have been drawn to the upper Hudson Valley for millennia. From early indigenous communities to European settlers and their farming descendants, this land holds a rich history connecting generations of Hudson Valley residents. And it goes on to explain the Native Americans, the history, the Germain family, the Champlain Canal, and this one explains what is open when, and the project partners. At Saratoga, the British campaign that was supposed to crush America's rebellion ended instead in a surrender that changed the history of the world. This is where the first British army in world history surrendered. British General John Burgoyne gave his sword to American General Horatio Gates on this very spot on October 17, 1777. Previously defeated in the September 19th and October 7th battles of Saratoga, fought 7 miles south, Burgoyne retreated north to Saratoga, present-day Schuylerville, and after a short siege surrendered his army of nearly 7,000 people. It marked the end of British plans to conquer upstate New York and capture Albany, which the British hoped would help bring a swift end to the American Rebellion. What a beautiful setting. And there is limited parking here. I parked down by the road. And we have a plaque of the surrender. And then we have 4 plaques with quotes. Lady Frederica Ride Diesel, wife of Burgoyne's German commander. Lieutenant William Digby, British 53rd Regiment of Foot, October 17th, 1777. Private Ezra Tilden, Massachusetts Militia, October 17th, 1777. And Major General Horatio Gates to the President of Congress, October 18th, 1777. Moment where we stand on the precipice of everything our founding fathers worked for being torn asunder, I think it's time to pause and think about all the things that happen in places like these, the good and the bad, and the men who were both good and bad.